asking you after services?
Yes.
I appreciate it. It's not the immediate one. Shabbat shalom. Kenny. Right. And there's lots of beautiful major music out there. Exactly. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. It's okay. It's okay. Thanks. Stop bothering me.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's nice to see all of you and be in our beautiful sanctuary this evening and for another summer Shabbat. We're very excited for the concert after our services this evening as well. We'll have beautiful music both with our cantor during services and then with our musical group afterwards. So looking forward to that as well. Happy to have all of you here with us. And we're also very excited that Ari Birkin will be becoming a bar mitzvah tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. in our sanctuary, and that he and his family are here this evening to formally begin their celebratory weekend. So we'll have Ari come up in a little bit. Actually, I'd like to invite Emily up and the family, if they would like to be our candle lighters this evening. Just as you bring so much light into our community, we would love for you to kindle the lights of Shabbat together on this occasion of Ari becoming bar mitzvah.
As the day becomes night, the velvet cloak of darkness descends, enveloping us in its warmth. We snuggle into its folds, eyes closed, breathing deeply, we feel at peace. We feel the cares and worries of the day fall away, leaving quiet, contentment, serenity. We see, even with eyes closed, two small pinpoints of light drawing us close, causing us to feel a warmth inside us as well as out. We smile and embrace them as we do each week, as our ancestors did, as our children will do each week. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Thank you. Shabbat shalom.
This evening, we will greet the Shabbat bride and welcome the Shabbat bride into our presence with Lecha Dodi on page 3. So when we get to the last verse, Boi v'shalom, in order to greet the Shabbat bride, we'll rise and face the entrance of the sanctuary, and we'll bow when we hear Boi chala, and then we'll turn back around and have a seat.
Lecha dodi likerat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likerat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamo v'zacho b'dibur echad, Hishmi'anu el hameyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem ultiferet v'litehila, Lecha dodi likerat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likerat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri ki va'orei kumi ori, uri shir daberi כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
We read responsively at the top of page 5, "For the good in us which calls us to a better life, we give thanks.
For the strength to improve the world with our hearts and minds, we give praise.
For the peace in us which leads us to work for peace, we are grateful.
For all these we give thanks to the Creator of life and nature."
Ari, it's an honor to call you back up to the bima to lead us in Chatzi Kaddish this evening.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'amat yivrach yotev yomlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchayedecho beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv. Veimeru, Amen. Yechesh mei Rabba mevorach, le'amru me'omaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtava, v'yitbar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei dekudasha b'richu, le'elan min kol bechirata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, damiran b'yoma, ve'imeru, Amen.
Yesher koach.
Wonderful. Wonderful to see our young people lead us from the bima. We rise for the Baruch Hu, our call to worship on page 6.
Lai la lai 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 lai. Lai la lai 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 lai. Lai 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 lai. Lai la lai 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 lai. Lai 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 lai. Lai la lai 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
We continue with Ma'ariv Aravim. We'll read together at the top of page 7. Beloved are you, eternal God, by whose design the evening falls, by whose command dimensions open up, and eons pass away, and stars spin in their orbits. You set the rhythms of day and night, the alteration of light and darkness. Sing your creating world. In rising sun and in spreading dusk, Creator of all, you are made manifest. Eternal, everlasting God, may we always be aware of your dominion. Beloved are you, Adonai, for this hour of nightfall. We continue with Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Avta, Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu, B'shochveinu u'vekumeinu, Nasiach b'chukecha, V'nismach b'divrei Toratcha, U'v'mitzvotecha, Le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu, uvahem negeh yomam v'layla. Ve'ahavatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim. Baruch ata Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
We turn to the watchword of our faith, the Shema, proclaiming God's oneness.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated. We continue with Ve'ahavta on page 9.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha, ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha, ve'shinantam levanecha ve'dibarta bam B'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'keshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chetavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'v'sha'arecha Lema'an tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet.
We turn to page 10 and read responsively. Emet, there is no place where you are not. Even in the wilderness there is your word. Emet, that pen stroke of lightning, white fire, black flame, stir the soul's passion. guide our sacred way. True and enduring is the Torah. Your truth for us is certain and established, now and forevermore. Like Moses, Miriam, and all Israel, we sing out and rejoice.
Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar bakodesh, nora tehilot, osei fele, mi chamocha bailim Adonai. Malchutecha ra'u v'anecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze Eli anu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch le'olam le'olam va'ed. Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar bakodesh, nora tehilot, osei fele, mi chamocha bailim Adonai. V'nemar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo miyad chazak mimenu baruch ata Adonai Ga'al Yisrael.
We turn to page 11. If you separate yourself from certain weekday activities, you might imagine each of these as a step away from the ordinary, hectic world into the peaceful realm of Shabbat. Imagine yourself stepping away from a world of carrying money to a realm where everything is yours, just for the looking. Stepping away from a world in which everything must be written down to a realm where all is grasped just in the listening. Stepping away from a world of frenzied traffic by walking down a quiet lane. Stepping away from a world soaked in artificial light, which needs to be turned on and off, into a realm where only the rising and the setting sun, the interplay of brightness and shadow, light your life. We continue with Vishamru on page 12.
Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam beini uvein bnei Yisrael oti le'olam beini uvein bnei Yisrael oti le'olam ki sheishet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash.
We rise for the tefillah on page 12.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Geula Lihivnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah Rav lehoshia, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim ve'rofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'gevurot, Umido melach, Melech meimit umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata lehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
You may be seated. We'll read responsively on page 14. There is holiness when we strive to be the best we know. There is holiness when we are kind to someone who cannot possibly be of service to us. There is holiness when we forget what divides us and remember what unites us. There is holiness when we are willing to be laughed at for what we believe in. There is holiness when we love truly, honestly, and unselfishly. There is holiness when we remember the lonely and bring cheer into dark corners. There is holiness when we share our bread, ideas, and our enthusiasm. There is holiness when we gather to pray to God, who gave us the power to pray. We've come to our Hoda'ah prayer, our prayer of gratitude, of thanksgiving. And I'd like for us to try something we've been doing a little bit more over the summer. If there's something that you are grateful for in the past week or that is about to come up in the next week and you'd like to share it with our community, I invite you to share it, and then we'll say together, Modim Anachnu Lach, afterwards.
My son Asher and Harper and child will be coming in for the week, and I'm very excited to see them.
Absolutely.
I don't have any more pain after my surgery.
For family coming in to visit, and also for good health with no pain. Modim Anachnu Lach.
My great-granddaughter, who was born much too early at only 2 pounds, just celebrated her first birthday and she's doing fine.
Mazal Tov. A great-granddaughter who was born prematurely but is now thriving, just turned a year old. Modim Anachnu Lach. Her cousin Ari becoming bar mitzvah.
Cool.
Modim Anachnu Lach. Any other things we're grateful for? All of the family here to celebrate together. Very proud of you, Ari. Modim anachnu lach. And they should be. You've studied hard and you're a good kid, and we are very excited to celebrate with you tomorrow. Younger brother playing his role. It's all right. Well, I'm grateful to be here with all of you this evening, with the sun streaming in the windows behind us and the temperature is a little bit cooler. Modim anachnu lach. We'll turn to our prayer for peace, Shalom Rav, on page 15.
Shalom, shalom, shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha ve'al kol ha'amim tasim le'olam tasim le'olam ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom shalom shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha ve'al kol ha'amim tasim le'olam tasim le'olam v'tov be'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה, בכל עת ובכל שעה, בשלומך. שלום, שלום, שלום רב על ישראל עמך ועל כל העמים תשים לעולם, תשים לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל בשלום.
With that beautiful melody, our prayer for peace echoing in our minds, we turn to a different kind of shalom, a type of shalem that comes from the same root we hope for a refuah shlema, a complete healing for those in our community who are in need of refuat hanefesh u refuat haguf, a healing of body, a healing of soul. At this time, our congregation is thinking of those in our community in need of those prayers: Shandol Bat Frida Malka, Julie Borikoff, Margot Raz, Carol Dubin, Sharon Rotman, Steve Toplinski, Esther Cohen, Lisa Furstad, Hachazan Sarah Rachel Bat Yocheved Alexander, Steve Plotkin, Avram Ben Naftali, Marilyn Harmon, Mary Frankowitz, Sophia Rubenstein, Ilana Himmelfarb, Avraham Bat Frida, Marla Chakowski, Michael Sychek, David Roder, Natalie Cohen, Keith Mandel, Jamie Creaman, Ela Batnatan Vishoshana, Mark Cook, Luke Cooper, Jason and Keely Roberts, Dr. Susie Mendelson, Audrey Rubin, Michaela Helen Berg, Michal Stroud, Susan Garrison, Warren Beal, Ron Slavin, Peter Roder, Suzanne Swain, Fredlin Kruglock Vale, Eileen Shippen, Roger Cook, Michael Bernstein Fine, Neil Pinsky, Michael Keller, Baruch Laser Ben Esther, Layla Rosen, David Kleinman, Batya Riva Bat Yosef Vimiriam, Rina Leah Bat Malka Sura, Meir Ben Herschel Venechama, Pinchas Ben Avraham Vahaya, Avraham Ben Moish Ve'emunah, Wendy Huber, Al Rossman, Wendy Schuster, Ann Becker, Kathy Baker, Hope Marins, Janet Van Zyl, Ann Katz, Mosi Ramirez, Diane Redman, Mark Ackerman, Ruth Resnick, Sally Stern, Ronald Barmazale, Victor Mechanic. If there are loved ones whom you are thinking of who are in need of a prayer of healing, refuat hanefesh, refuat haguf, I invite you to hold them in your heart as we turn to these words of Misha Berach on page 17.
Misha Berach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Le'imoteinu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imoteinu mekor habracha la'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We take a moment now for Tfilat Halev, for the prayers in your heart.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
This week's Torah portion includes many laws that detail how to support the community. If you see that a person's ox or donkey has gone astray, return it to them. When you build a new house, build a parapet around the roof to protect people from falling off of it. If you go into a fellow Israelite's vineyard or field, you may eat until you are full, but do not take any with you. If you grant a loan to a fellow Israelite, do not keep their pledge overnight if they need it. For example, do not keep someone's coat from them on a cold night. Return it at sundown and ask for it back in the morning. Do not abuse needy and poor laborers. Pay them their wages at the end of the day. Do not wait. When you reap the harvest, do not go through your field a second time. Let the remnants lie for the needy in your community, the stranger, the orphan, the widow. Use fair weights and measures. Do not use excessive force or punishment that exceeds the crime. These laws help the Israelites understand how to be a loving, justice-oriented community. God shows them how to love their neighbor. In addition to feeling warmth and affection for our neighbors, there are acts that demonstrate our love. Some of these laws, as they are written, may not apply to us today. I don't have a backyard, much less a vineyard. And the majority of us, if not all, don't own cattle and donkeys. Cattle and donkeys, there we go. However, the principles behind these laws remain relevant for us. We can support our community and take extra measures to safeguard the vulnerable among us. Take a moment to think about a time when you have helped someone or when someone has helped you. Let's hear from several of you. What did you think of? Any other moments where people have helped you or you've helped them? Holding the door for someone. Making financial contributions to causes that we care about. Right now, making a contribution to Maui.
A neighbor saw me struggling with groceries and helped me and took them from me and actually brought them into my apartment for me.
A neighbor seeing another neighbor in need and helping you bring in your groceries when they saw you struggling. Yeah.
I don't have a very good sense of direction, and that is pretty bad, so I'm notorious and get lost. I've gotten lost in bad neighborhoods.
To find help where you might not necessarily have expected it from past understanding, to be able to find your way, have people literally help you find your way.
My cousins.
Your cousins? So there's many moments that we have that make up the fabric of our lives, where people have helped us, where we've been able to help other people. And these are the moments that strengthen the fabric of our community. They bend the arc of the universe toward justice and mercy. We are fortunate to have organizations within our community doing this work as well. Tikkun Ha'ir, which means to repair the city, works to promote a more just society in Milwaukee. It is an organization rooted in Jewish values. Their Veggie Chop Shop is a modern-day example of fulfilling the commandment to leave the remnants for those most in need. Veggie Chop Shop's mission is simple: glean, cook, feed. They utilize excess produce from area farmers markets and groceries and turn it into healthy and delicious meals for the food insecure in our city, in Milwaukee. Tikkun Ha'ir also runs WIVIC, the Wisconsin Interfaith Voter Engagement Campaign. Their mission is to increase voter engagement so that all in our community have the opportunity to exercise their civic responsibility and right to have their voices heard. National Voter Registration Day is coming up. It is Tuesday, September 19th. Reach out to our congregants, Rhonda Lindner and Sammy Stein-Avner, if you would like to get involved with either of these initiatives that are wonderful things happening in our community. At Congregation Shalom, we care deeply about Tikkun Olam, about repairing the world. One way that we are excited to share that value is through the newly created Family Mitzvah Club. Throughout the year, the Family Mitzvah Club will offer opportunities for families, including members of all ages, to participate in activities that promote tzedakah, social justice, and giving back to our community. Our hope is that Family Mitzvah Club will offer congregants the opportunity to perform mitzvot together, sometimes outside of Shalom, sometimes in one large group in one space. Then we'll celebrate our efforts together as a Shalom community, sharing with one another the collective impact of our individual acts. For our first major project, Shalom's Family Mitzvah Club is supporting the Jewish Community Pantry in their school supply and backpack drive. The Jewish Community Pantry is collecting new school supplies, backpacks, and books for pantry guests. The items can be dropped in the bins located by the front doors and in the office at Congregation Shalom. And for those religious school families, consider bringing your items for donation on our first day of religious school, September 10th. That is the second to last day of the drive, so that we have an opportunity to bring all of the items that we've collected to them on the last day, the next day. This Shabbat, I invite you to consider those moments when you have helped or have been helped by your community. Think of how it made you feel, the nice warm feeling inside, and find ways to continue to be the helpers that our world so desperately needs. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We will continue our service with Aleinu, and I would love to call the Birkin family up to open our ark doors. Please rise. We're on page 18.
Alleluia, עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד. Careful. Give it a little. Oh. Nice. Shabbat Shalom.
We turn our thoughts this evening to those who are no longer with us, and though their physical presence is no longer of this earth, we hold them in our hearts and in our minds. They guide us each and every day. At this time, our Congregation Shalom community commemorates the life of Elaine Stoley, who passed, and her funeral will be on Tuesday at Congregation Shalom at 11 a.m. And during the period of Shiva, of Lona Ross and Joan Saperstein, and those during the period of Shloshim of Linda Hirsch, Ren Gallen, and David Weber, and those who have passed, whose yard sites occur this week: Rose Bistritz, Karen Bookstaff, Moish Buchman, Harold Burston, Ilse Kahn, Mary Chattis, Robert L. Cohen, Brenda Delane, Bernard Edelstein, Robert Federley, Shirley Gold, Robert Ira Goldberg, Pearl Gratch, Corinne K. Hall, Susan Halloway, Leah Himmelfarb, Carolyn Hoffman, Sally W. Kaplan, Jen Coffer, Bruce E. Ketchpaw, Edith Kohler, Sidney Kohler, Eugene Connick, Louis Crom, Belle Levine, Joan Levine, Martin Lewin, Ida Lipton, Lita Lewis, Jacob Milhendler, Lena Meckler, Rebecca Pelton, Eugene Perchonik, Lou Pistoner, Mickey Pivar, Jacob Pollock, Sandra Renko, Alan Richmond, Benjamin Rubin, Max Schumo, Monroe Slavic, Richard M. Stone, Ernst Wallace, Ethel Weiss, and Annette Zlotkin. If there are loved ones whom you are thinking of who were not mentioned this evening or whose names should be pronounced differently than I pronounce them, I invite you to share them aloud with our community as my eyes meet yours.
Leah Bat Rivka.
In addition to those loved ones that we hold dear, we think of those who perished during the Holocaust, as well as those who have died due to acts of war and terror around our globe, those who have died due to the virus that has stricken our world, those who have died due to the virus of racism and xenophobia, as well as those who no longer have anyone to say Kaddish for them. We turn to these sacred words of Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, on page 20. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shmei rabbah, be'alma divrach rute v'yamlich malchute, v'chayachon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehe shmei rabba mevorach leolam u'lalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei dekudasha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. And together we say, Amen. You may be seated. And as we turn from Kaddish to the life of our community, it's an honor to call forward our president, Steve Wallace, to share announcements with all of you this evening.
Shabbat Shalom. Following services tonight, there's an oneg in Clearfield Hall, sponsored by the family of Ari Birkin, including his wonderful brother. Nice. Mazel tov, Ari and family and cousins. After the oneg, we hope you'll stay for the concert featuring our professional choir members. Tomorrow, in addition to Ari's bar mitzvah, there will be Torah study at 9 a.m., our community service at 10 a.m., and the community lunch at 11:30. Monday evening at 7 p.m., there will be a choir rehearsal. The choir is practicing, of course, for the High Holy Days, and they're scheduled to perform at our Slichot program on September 9th. On August 29th, a new session begins of our Introduction to Judaism class at 6:30 p.m. As we approach Slichot, we are offering a series of classes to help us prepare our minds and our souls for the High Holy Days. The Slichot series continues on Wednesday, August 30th. We'll be watching and discussing episodes of the TV show The Good Place. Now, the last session will be on Slichot, which is Saturday, September 9th. In addition to watching and discussing the last episode of The Good Place, we will include dinner, a service, and an oneg. That's a threefer, so that's a good deal. Registrations required for the dinner. The daily Elul messages are now being sent out. If you would like to be added to the mailing list, to receive these messages, please contact the office. We have daily minyan Monday through Thursday, as always, at 5:45 p.m., and the High Holy Days will be here before we know it. So don't forget to return your Book of Remembrance list by Monday, August 28th. Anyone who submitted names to us last year will find the names printed on the back page in the mailing you received this year. Please send back that page if you'd like those names printed in the Book of Remembrance this year. And please also feel free to add additional names. We are still accepting the High Holy Day registration form and ask that you please return this form if you have not done so. The form for the children's program is due by September 8th. These forms can be completed online, or you can complete and return paper copies. Thank you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Chair didn't want to let go of me this evening. I got a little caught on my tzitzit. Since we are in the month of Elul, this is the month of reflection leading up to our High Holy Day season, the chance for us to think about how we behaved in the year that has just passed and how we would like to behave in the upcoming year. Jewish tradition encourages us to read Psalm 27 every day, and a piece of that psalm is the song Achat Sha'alti, which Cantor Perper will be singing for us this evening.
Adonai is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Adonai is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? One thing I ask of Adonai, this only do I seek, that I may dwell in the house of Adonai all the days of my life.
Achat sha'alti me'et Adonai, ota avakesh. Achat sha'alti me'et Adonai, ota avakesh. Shivti beveit Adonai kol yemei chayai lachazot benoam Adonai ulevaker behechalom לחזות בנועם אדוני ולבקר בחלום.
We rise for Kiddush, which can be found on page 23.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lemaaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'ei kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta v'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. L'chaim.
Chaim.
That was good, Rabbi. Wasn't that good?
Delicious. We will conclude our service this evening with Shalom Alechem, which can be found on page 24. You may be seated.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barechuni leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Shabbat Shalom.
Yay,